All right, we'll start with our first question here. Orlando, a friend of the show, asks, since we got rid of Sanders and traded for DeForest Buckner, and we got 13 and 31 for the first-round pick, can we trade 13 for OBJ for veterans or go for a young wide receiver? I guess he's asking, do we trade for Odell Beckham Jr.? You could trade number 13 overall, and number 13 overall would do it. Like, you could just give it number 13 overall straight up, and I guarantee you they would take it. The question is, if you're just going to give up number 13 overall for a guy who's been a locker room and a sideline problem and who is aging, he's been injured, why not just draft somebody, right? That's my whole take on this. Would I like Odell Beckham Jr.? Sure. If he traded number 31 overall, I'd love it. But with that being said, if you can get Henry Ruggs or Jerry Jeudy or T. Higgins or someone else at number 13 overall, CeeDee Lamb, that's the one I want. I'd take Lamb over Odell Beckham Jr. I know it's crazy, but I think he's going to be very, very good in the National Football League. Moving on. Next question here is from Chris Hernandez. Do you believe Aldon Smith can get back to being dominant? If so, how many sacks? Okay, if you didn't see the news, Aldon Smith was signed by the Dallas Cowboys yesterday. It was not an April Fool's Day prank. It was real. He was signed by Dallas. The problem is he's still under indefinite suspension and has not been reinstated by the league. So I don't know how Dallas is expecting him to be reinstated by the league because he's had a ton of off-the-field issues. Can he still be dominant? Maybe, I guess, alongside DeMarcus Lawrence, he's going to have a lot of one-on-ones, but will he even see the field this year is my question. I don't even care that he went to the Cowboys. It seems dumb to me that the Cowboys would sign him before signing Dak Prescott. It doesn't make sense. They do need pass rushers because they lost Robert Quinn to the Bears, but overall, no, I don't think he can be back to be as many dominant, and will he even see the field? Probably not. Moving on. Christopher asked this next question. What do you think of Breida and a fifth to the Rams for Cook? I don't think it would do it. I think the Rams want more. I think the Rams want a second for Brandon Cooks right now is what I've been hearing. So I think take Breida and a third to get that done, and we don't have a third. So that's the problem right now. To get Brandon Cooks from the LA Rams, from the LA Rams, you would have to trade out of the first round, trade away number 31 overall, get a second round draft pick, and then trade for him. And again, a guy who's been concussed, he was concussed multiple times last year, just draft a receiver. That's why nobody has gone out and given massive money to wide receivers this year. Even a guy like Robbie Anderson, probably the best free agent wide receiver, only got $12, $13 million a year because no one wants to sign him because there are too many good potential rookies in the NFL draft. So no, I would do that trade, but I'm telling you the Rams would not do that trade, so I'll just go ahead and veto that trade right now. Moving on here, use the hashtag 49ers, get your questions in on the show. Jaden asked, should Niners trade Marquise, Goodwin, Breida, or Solomon Thomas? Okay, I'll break this down. Breida is the most tradable, but you would need a team to have a need at running back, which might not happen until training camp when people get injured, right? Because there are a lot of teams that you just go in the draft and just draft a running back instead of signing a guy like Matt Breida, who was injured last year. Goodwin's so darn old. All you're going to get for him is a 6th or 7th round draft pick, so is it really that worth it? And Solomon Thomas, sure, you could maybe get a 4th or a 5th, but that's it, right? I mean, you're just not going to get a lot in return. I think that the 49ers are very happy with how they stand. They're going to add 2 first-round draft picks, 2 rookies this year who were drafted in the first round, and they're going to try and, duplicate last year, roll the dice, and run the tables, which we all know they're a very good team, and I think they're going to be just fine in terms of going forward and going ahead. They'll win at least 10 games next year, hopefully more. But at the same time, hopefully there is football next year, and the 49ers can be able to play. So who else is dying for football season? Because it can't just be me. Type R in the chat if you are ready for football season. Heck, type R in the chat if you're ready for any sort of sports. The only sports we have right now is the iRacing via NASCAR, and that's fun, but it's not football, and it's not the NBA, and it's not the start of baseball. I mean, good Lord. Type R in the chat. I'm going to do it right now if you guys are ready for football season. At least we get the NFL draft. At least, Lord willing, the NFL draft is for sure going to happen, as Roger Goodell has said, and we are going to be just fine. Now, speaking of the NFL draft, and obviously keep typing R to let you guys know that you guys are ready for, as I'm typing it too, as you guys are, good Lord, everyone's ready for the NFL season. It's true, right? We're all ready for the NFL season. Someone just said NBA and NFL, which I agree on. Speaking of the draft, despite the fact that players won't be walking across the stage, they will still get the authentic, so let me say it again, authentic, there it is, the 49er draft helmet, or hat, which looks really good. I mean, look at that. That looks sweet. Got to pick yourself up one if you want to do it. It's on sale right now, chatsports.com/49draft. Links in the description box right now if you guys want to jump on this deal. That way you're wearing the same hat the rookies will wear, whether it's CeeDee Lamb or Jerry Jeudy or Henry Ruggs. Chatsports.com/49draft is the place to go ahead and do that. All draft hats are on sale, and they look really, really good. Last year's draft hats, not that great. This year's draft hats, really, really good. We just put the link in the chat box as well. So if you guys want to jump on those deals, go ahead and check out those deals overall. Chatsports.com, one more time, /49draft. Okay, back to the questions here. We got about 7 minutes to go here in this live video. Keep using the hashtag 49ers to get your questions in on the show. As I see, a lot of people are still typing R, meaning a lot of people still miss football season. They want it to come back, which I do too. So someone says that they already got the hat. Well, that's sweet. Congratulations. Okay, more questions here. Adriana Hammond. And the Niners might trade for McCaffrey. No, there's no way that the 49ers would trade for Christian McCaffrey because they don't need Christian McCaffrey. Raheem Mostert was really good last year. We're top 5 in rushing. I like the idea because it's like, oh, well, McCaffrey might be tradable. You have to give up multiple first-round draft picks to go ahead and get him, which is just, it just doesn't make sense. Other needs, D-line, wide receiver, more important, we're fine at running back. Obviously, Breida is still on the team. McKinnon, Coleman, Mostert, Jeff Wilson Jr. Like, good Lord, we have way too many running backs. So, no. Speaking of running backs, well, actually, our next question here. Let's see what the next question is. We're going to pull that up here in a second. This one says, who's our running back 1? Mostert or McKinnon? It is definitely Mostert. He's running back 1. Coleman's running back 2, and I think McKinnon will be running back 3 if we go ahead and trade Matt Breida. Okay, next question here comes from Jimmy Garoppolo himself. Probably not, but he says, who's your draft crush? Mine is Jeff Gladney. Okay, I have multiple crushes. CeeDee Lamb, #1 draft crush. Absolutely love him. I love Tua, even though the 49ers don't need a quarterback. I love Tua this year. I love Lamar Jackson, the cornerback out of Nebraska, because he's massive. I did a preview of cornerbacks that, of course, the 49ers should go ahead and grab earlier this week in the channel. You can check that out. I talk about Lamar Jackson, not the quarterback, the cornerback out of Nebraska. He's going to be a beast. He'll be a late-round draft pick, but he'll be a lot of fun. And finally, Denzel Mims. Because I covered him. I've seen him. I've interviewed him at Baylor. I believe he's the real deal. I hope he makes my Bears proud, and maybe he's a future 49er. Who knows? Okay, Michael, he asks, what position would you say is the biggest need for depth? It's probably wide receiver, although you can argue defensive tackle just because you trust Ronald Blair and DJ Jones and Solomon Thomas. So it's defensive tackle or wide receiver, although apparently there's some other rumors we didn't talk about today about offensive line depth being a big thing because they don't know how long Joe Staley's going to last in terms of the final 2 years of his deal. So I put wide receiver first, D-tackle second, O-line would be number 3 if I was going to go ahead and rank them. Another one from Orlando. Orlando, you get 2. If we get Jordan Reed, how much would it be to get him? Good question. It'd probably be less than $5 million. I'd be shocked if there's anything more than $5 million because they want to spend the money on George Kittle. It'd be a cheap deal. Didn't play last year. Might even be the veteran minimum if if we're lucky. So would not cost a lot. That's probably why they're looking at it because they're saying, hey, the plus side is huge. The downside is very, very minimal, right? Overall, I think that'd be a very good idea for the 49ers to go ahead and do it, and it'd be cheap overall. So good question. Okay, let's get the comments rolling here with a city shout out, my favorite part of the show. Where are you guys watching from? Type where you guys are watching from. Prize, not really. I'll give you a shout out to the person I see who is furthest away from me right now. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. Who is furthest away? We had people in Norway on the last live video, so I'm curious where you guys are watching this one from. Let me know in the comment section right now. I'm in Atlanta. Producer Dylan is in Dallas right now, all locked up in his house, and I'm curious where you guys are. All right, Fresno. Okay, well, listen to that. Mauricio says Salvador, Brazil. That is very far away. Riverbank. I don't know where Riverbank is. Fort Campbell, Kentucky, Sacramento, Oxnard, Las Vegas. Oh, Riverbank's in California. Oregon, Palo Alto. There's that Chris guy from Hawaii who I'm always jealous of because I want to be in Hawaii too. Sacramento, Maryland, Texas, Omaha, Chesapeake, Honolulu, Hawaii. Man, it must be nice. Fort Campbell, Fredericksburg, Virginia, Oregon, Vegas. Anyone overseas? Germany. There you go. Stuttgart, Germany. That one's probably the farthest away right now. California, Redwood City, Riverbank, Sacramento, Rhode Island, Texas, Idaho. Can anyone beat Germany? Fort Worth, Memphis, Modesto, Montana, LA, Singapore. Really? Moniz is in Singapore. That's got to win, right? Portugal, that one's far away too. The moon, okay. There's the moon. We always get someone saying the moon in a live video. So, it's maybe you are in the moon right now. Puerto Rico, Portugal, Tucson, Arizona. Thomas, I love your show. Hey, I appreciate that. It's not where you live, but I appreciate it. Singapore, that is so far away. I think that wins. I think Moniz wins. Singapore is pretty darn far away. There's your shout out, Moniz. Congratulations. You're very far away. I have no idea what time it is in Singapore. It's like 6 o'clock here. 6 o'clock Eastern time, 6:30 Eastern time right now. I don't know what time it is there, but I appreciate each and every one of you. Someone just said Ghana. If that's true, that's very far away. Someone just said your house. I don't know if that's my roommates or not. Afghanistan. I don't know if that's true or not. New York. I love your show. San Francisco. Okay, there you go. Shout out your cities back and forth. That has been a lot of fun. All right, let's go ahead and wrap things up here as it has been already 30 minutes. Time flies. You're having fun. Be sure to subscribe to the 49ers Report. That way you get coverage all season long. We're so close to 20K. If you're watching right now and not subscribed, what are you doing? We're trying to get to 20K. Help us out. You know what? We're going to do a couple more questions, too, just because I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. We have a ton of people watching right now. Someone just said from the Philippines, couple more questions here, and then we'll go ahead and wrap the show up at 6:30 because we want to get you guys as many questions as possible. Here's another one we're going to throw up right now. Carson says, trade Akhello Witherspoon. Okay, but for what? A 5th? A 6th? Like, here's the deal. I get that we want to make all these different trades, and I would love to trade Akhello Witherspoon because if you draft a cornerback, you don't need him. But you're not getting much. You gotta remember, his draft stock, he was benched last year for Emmanuel Mosley. So a team would give up at best a 5th, most likely a 6th or a 7th. So that's the problem with trading Akhello Witherspoon because just, you're not going to get a lot for him, and you might as well keep him for depth because maybe he plays better if he fills in last year and, overall. All right, next one here from Solomon as I think we're going to throw this one up here right now. He says, do we need O-line? Yeah, but it's not urgent, so they probably won't get one in this draft. How about that? Maybe a later round O-line guy, a 5th or a 6th, something like that. But I don't think they're going to take one in the first round at all because they don't need one right now. They're very confident in their current depth chart. So, no, they don't need one overall. But I think that it will be a thing in the future in terms of what they could potentially need once Joe Staley retires. But Joe Staley probably is going to be here for at least the next year, maybe the next 2 years. So O-line is not a pressing need right now. I think they're wide receiver, D tackle, and finally O-line would be number 3 on this overall. All right, that's it for questions. I want you guys to spam the chat right now. Can I get a Go Niners to finish? Go Niners in the chat right now. I'm putting it up there. You guys should too. Spam the chat. Give me a Go Niners just so we can go ahead and sign out on the same page here. If you love the Niners, if you appreciate this show, if you appreciate producer Dylan, spam the chat right now. Go Niners. I'm trying to see. I haven't seen my first one yet. So go ahead and click and spam the chat. Go Niners. There it is, Danielle. There it is, Mauricio. I appreciate you guys.